Prenatal development, also called as antenatal development, in humans, the process encompassing the period from the formation of an embryo through the development of a fetus to birth. The human body, like that of most animals, developed from a single cell produced by the union of a male and a female gamete. This union marks the beginning of the prenatal period, which in humans encompasses three distinct stages: the pre-embryonic stage, the first 2 weeks of development, which is a period of cell division and initial differentiation. Second is the embryonic period, or period of organogenesis, which lasts from the third to eighth week of development. And third is the fetal period, which is characterized by the maturation of tissues and organs and rapid growth of the body. Infancy. Infancy is defined as the first year of life after birth. For the first month after birth, an infant is called a newborn. Head hair can vary from almost no hair to a full head of hair. The stub of the umbilical cord remains for a few weeks until it dries up and falls off. Infants are born with certain abilities already developed. For example, they have a well-developed sense of smell. They can also communicate their needs by crying when they are hungry, uncomfortable, bored, or lonely. During their first year, they develop many other abilities. By 6 weeks after birth, babies typically start smiling and making vocal sounds. By 6 months, they spend a lot of time bubbling. They have also learned to sit and are starting to crawl. By 12 months, they are saying their first words. They can stand with help and may have started to walk. Infancy is a period of most rapid growth after birth. Growth during infancy is even faster than growth during puberty. Early childhood is also referred to as the preschool years, consisting of the years which follow toddlerhood and precede formal schooling. As a 3 to 5-year-old, the child is busy learning language, is gaining a greater sense of self and greater independence, and is beginning to learn the working of the physical world. This knowledge does not come quickly. Between 3 and 5 years of age, children continue to grow rapidly and begin to develop fine motor skills. By age 5, most children demonstrate fairly good control of pencils, crayons, and scissors. Gross motor accomplishment may include the ability to skip and balance on one foot. Physical growth slows down between 5 and 8 years of age, while body proportion and motor skill become refined. Middle and late childhood. Middle and late childhood spans the ages between early childhood and adolescence, approximately ages 6 to 11 years old. Children gain control over the movement of their bodies, mastering many gross and fine motor skills that eluded the younger child. Changes in the brain during this age enable not only physical development but contributes to greater reasoning and flexibility of thought. School becomes a big part of middle and late childhood, and it expands their world beyond the boundary of their own family. Peer acceptance also influences children's perception of self and may have consequences for emotional development beyond these years. Children of this age tend to sharpen their abilities to perform both gross motor skills such as riding a bike and fine motor skills such as cutting their fingernails. In gross motor skills, boys typically outperform girls, while with fine motor skills, girls outperform the boys. This improvement in motor skills are related to brain growth and experience during this developmental period. The teenage years are also called adolescence. Adolescence is a time for growth, spurts, and puberty changes. An adolescent may grow several inches in several months, followed by a period of very slow growth, then have another growth spurt. There is a great amount of variation in the rate of changes that may happen. Some teenagers may experience the signs of maturity sooner or later than others. Boys will have their shoulder broaden and their voice will become lower, and an Adam apple will appear on their neck, while girls will have their breasts and they will have widening of their hips and they will have menstruation. Sexual and other physical maturation that happens during puberty is a result of hormonal changes. Early adulthood, also called as young adulthood, is a stage of life between 18 and 25 years, when grown-ups become more independent and explore different life possibilities. Age of majority, the legal age of adulthood. By the time we reach early adulthood, our physical maturation is complete. Although our height and weight may increase slightly, in early adulthood, our physical abilities are at their peak, including muscle strength, reaction time, sensory abilities, and cardiac functioning. Most professional athletes are at the top of their game during this stage, and many women have children in the early adulthood years. During middle adulthood, the aging process becomes more apparent. Around the age of 60, the eyes lose their ability to adjust to objects at varying distances, known as presbyopia. Most people between the ages of 40 and 60 will need some form of corrective lenses for vision deficits. Middle-aged adults are also at higher risk than younger adults for certain eye problems such as glaucoma. Hearing also further declines. Women experience a gradual decline in fertility as they approach the onset of menopause, the end of the menstrual cycle, around 50 years old. The aging process often results in a loss of memory, deteriorated intellectual function, decreased mobility, and higher rates of disease. Late adulthood is a stage of life from the 60s onward. It constitutes the last stage of physical change. Hearing and vision so sharp in our 20s decline significantly. Cataracts or cloudy areas of the eyes that result in vision loss are frequent. The other senses such as taste, touch, and smell are also less sensitive than they were in earlier years. The immune system is weakened, and many older people are more susceptible to illness, cancer, diabetes, and other ailments. Cardiovascular and respiratory problems become more common in old age.